When it comes right down to it, good food, and I mean really good food, is about classic ingredients dressed up in a way that reminds us of how good they really can be. I'm Joy Robertson for the Food Channel, and I'm here to tell you that the culinary experience at Smith & Wollensky is a real treat. Just listen to some of your options. Baby heirloom tomatoes with buffalo mozzarella, fresh baked bread with rosemary and sea salt, a charcuterie board of cured meats and artisanal cheeses, their famous shellfish bouquet with chilled lobster, crab meat, jumbo shrimp, and oysters. I got to visit the Smith & Wollensky at Boston's Atlantic Wharf, and yes, I tasted to my heart's content. So I can tell you all about the extensive menu, and believe me, it's all good. For starters, try the chilled iceberg wedge, or their signature smoked clam chowder. Then move to the Prince Edward Island mussels with prosciutto and lemon cream sauce, or the asparagus and crab meat salad with a touch of citrusy grapefruit that makes it unexpected. And then there are the steaks. We're talking USDA prime, dry-aged steaks. Smith & Wollensky offers a beef tenderloin trio, medallions prepared 3 ways. One with gorgonzola and applewood smoked bacon, another with a fig demi-glace, and finally a Cajun seasoning. And you get all 3. Or the porterhouse steak for 2, and I do mean at least 2. And then there's the new deconstructed ribeye. This is the deconstructed ribeye. Tell me the inspiration for this gorgeous dish.
Well, the inspiration behind this dish is to take our classic dry-aged ribeye steak, and we take the 2 different types of meat that are present on the ribeye, the outer cap muscle, which has more marbling and full of flavor, and the inner eye that's a little bit leaner, and treat them with 2 different cooking preparations. So we have a braised portion, and then we have our traditional simply grilled portion.
For more about how that deconstructed ribeye comes together, check out more information at foodchannel.com. We talked with 2 of their executive chefs about how they choose their steaks, how they age them, and how there's an in-house butcher at each location.
And we try to dry age them for 21, 28 days. That's the range we try to be in, more toward the 28-day range. And during that process, what happens is the enzymes in the meat actually break down the muscle, making it take on a whole new flavor characteristics, can become more tender. So it's, and a lot of people don't like to do it because there's a lot of inventory there, and it takes up a lot of space. But we think it's well worth the tradition.
You can tell the difference in a steak that's aged and a steak that's not aged.
Absolutely.
And that really does make it more flavorful, right?
Yes, it takes on like a buttery, nutty kind of flavor. I love it. It's actually a little bit butter and delicious when you cut into one of those and you put it in your mouth. It's great. Unbelievable. Chef
Tom is going to show us some of the different cuts of meat that you offer here at Smith & Wollensky. Tell me about these.
Well, we have the porterhouse, which is 48 ounces.
This is a big steak. This is for 2.
The big steak is good for 2, yes. Yeah. And the same thing, we got the T-bone, which is 28 ounces. That's for 1 person. We got the New York cut on the bone. We got the sirloin. Basically, this is the same cut. One on the bone, one was out. We call this the New York cut, the sirloin steak. Then the special cut that we have is the ribeye. That you tasted downstairs?
The ribeye is delicious. I did get to taste that downstairs. And literally every day you take the meat out of here and you move it out here and you cut these pieces of meat every single day.
Every day in the morning. We cut just enough for the night.
And as great as the steaks are, that's just part of the food we found here at the new Smith & Wollensky restaurant at the Boston Atlantic Wharf. The new menu is rolling out nationally, so if you have a Smith & Wollensky in your area, you might want to check it out. Because there really is a lot to offer. You could have truffled mac and cheese to share at the table. And the Food Channel managed to get that recipe if you'd like to check it out at foodchannel.com. You could have buttermilk onion rings, simple but oh so good. One of my personal favorites is the cracklin' pork shank with fall-off-the-bone tender meat. And the fresh oyster bar. For dessert, take my advice and share either the gigantic chocolate cake or the coconut layered cake. At Smith & Wollensky, they offer you a real excuse to linger. The cakes and other desserts are made by pastry chef Alexandra Barletta.
One of our famous desserts at Smith & Wollensky is our gigantic chocolate cake. It's 5 layers of chocolate cake, 5 layers of chocolate mousse, topped with ganache, and a happy cow grazing.
And of course, your meal needs a great compliment from the bar. There's a fabulous selection from the wine cellar. I'm with Stuart Roy now. He's the National Director of Wine and Spirits for Smith & Wollensky. Stuart, this is a gorgeous wine cellar. Smith & Wollensky has award-winning wine selections.
Correct. All 9 of our locations.
How do you go about selecting the wine that you want to put in the restaurant and serve to the customers?
Well, when we look at our consumers and we try to build our list on what, one, we're a steakhouse with dry-aged beef. We specialize in the best beef, to me, in the country. Mm-hmm. And so, one, we try to select our wines around that. And we try to be consumer-driven, too. So we have a whole gamut with international, domestic wines with real good food pairing capabilities, price ranges, and so forth.
And always, I'm sure the wait staff in the restaurant can certainly recommend some kind of a pairing for whatever dish you decide to order, be it seafood or, like you said, one of your aged steaks.
Correct. I mean, we have even here at a new location, I'd even put a shellfish page together with some special pairings to go with our selected seafood and shellfish bouquet items.
What makes for a great bar? When you walk into a bar, what is going to make you want to walk back in again?
I have to quote one of my favorite bartenders, a guy called Duchamp Zarek. He says that anyone can make a drink at home. Mm-hmm. So you don't go to a bar for a drink. It might draw you. You might find that a good drink is one of the things you like about the bar, but you go to a bar for an experience. And so seeing the theatre of a drink well made, having good music that you like, the lighting that you want, but it's really about atmosphere and people and the experience that you feel, the vibe of a bar. And people have to forget about that because there's so many bars that make good drinks and don't have the great atmosphere. But vice versa, there's so many bars with great atmospheres that make terrible drinks. So I'm looking for the one that ticks all the boxes. Personally.
Exactly. It's all about how you feel and the experience when you get to it. When you visit a great restaurant, everything matters right down to the glassware. And Jay Alley from Anchor Hocking Stutzel should know. Why does this matter so much, Jay?
Well, I think it's critically important. Smith & Wollensky has gone above and beyond to provide the very best at every level of the dining experience for their folks, starting from the china, the crystal, the flatware, the quality of their food. And it just finishes everything off. It's just perfect. Everything in here is perfect.
So whether it's a highball or a glass of wine or a good beer, the right glass is going to make it the right drink.
Exactly. Opportunity, and we're going to do the best we can to make everybody's experience that walks through this building, as far as it goes, along with glassware and wine, to be the best it can possibly be.
All right, here's to many more years.
Yeah, cheers.
And of course, we can demonstrate some other great drinks for you. Check out our mixology series for more. For the full menu and more about Smith & Wollensky, see all of our stories at foodchannel.com. Cheers!